Welcome back to Real Estate Mindset. Today's video is going to be absolutely bonkers and it's going to be live today. And you're probably wondering why I'm doing a live so early in the morning. And I can promise you it's because I want to be completely extra. I just wanted to get up early to see if I can do it. And here's the good news, y'all. I've taken a lot of pre-workout energy, so forgive my breathing, but I've already made actually 2 videos. So I'm feeling really good this morning. I hope that, there's enough people online right now to where this video is actually worth it. And I'm going to go into some really cool stuff today, y'all. We're going to really dig into CoreLogic, and CoreLogic basically has 3 reports that I'm going to review with y'all this morning. The first report is their quarterly construction insights. So we're going to, do a really nice deep dive into, obviously, construction. And one of the things that the article is going to conclude on as far as new home construction is the amount of jobs, right? So if new construction goes down, obviously it's going to create a tremendous amount of layoffs. Now, the second report we're going to look at is loan performance insights as far as from March 2023. This is going to go over the defaults and really, basically just where we're at as far as mortgage and people not paying it. So we're going to dig into that, y'all. And then we're also going to dig into another really cool CoreLogic report, which is going to be specified with rent growth. Okay. So that report's really going to go into how the rental market is softening. But each of those reports, I really kind of feel like it's important because each of those things could lead to additional hardship or price decline in the housing market. So that's what we're going to do today, guys. Do me a favor, like the video if you guys can real quick. Everything is going to be chaptered. I have my pen right here to chapter everything so you guys can come back and watch this. Now, real quick before I begin, y'all, I just want to let you guys know that I am absolutely a frustrated renter. I'm getting sick and tired of renting. It is becoming more emotional. I'm getting impatient. So I just wanted to let y'all know that I'm with you in that emotion and in that frustration if you're also renting and if you're also on the sidelines. So I'm very, it's just getting really hard, y'all, to continue to wait and to continue to watch people that are continuing to buy when they probably shouldn't be buying. And what I'm saying is the people that are buying right now, because we have had an increase in home buying demand over the last few weeks. I'm saying that the people that are buying right now are predominantly, so most of them are doing so based on emotion and fear of missing out. Most people, in my opinion, are not purchasing right now based on strategy and technique. So in my opinion, it is a lot of wasteful money spending that we're still seeing. So regardless, you guys, that doesn't change the fact 2 things. So 2 things that I'm really, really holding on to, which is number 1, the excessive equity growth in 2 years. So in almost 2 years, we had about a 40% equity run up in home prices. Now, the problem with that is it essentially breaks every single fundamental. And when that type of equity growth breaks fundamentals, generally it's going to come crashing down. Okay, so that's the one thing. The second thing that I'm holding on to is unaffordability. So not only do we have a very weak, fragile, equity growth housing market, unaffordability is through the roof right now. So we have, systematic failure as far as equity run up, and then topped with overwhelming unaffordability. And I think the reason, why the housing market, plateaued a little bit, because we were crashing, but now it's plateaued a little bit, is because of the lack of inventory. If we didn't have a lack of inventory, it's probably safe to assume that we would continue our house price drop. Now, what I think is going to happen is I think eventually, probably in a couple months, the well-qualified buyers that are purchasing right now, they're going to be gone. So there's only so many well-qualified, because remember, you have to be rich right now if you're going to own a house right now. And I'm talking, post 2021. Obviously, if you purchased before 2022, odds are you have a low interest rate and you have equity in your house. And I've, basically been preaching about the housing market for the last year. So I was actually purchasing, helping people purchase in 2020 and 2021. But again, you all, it's just they maxed out housing prices and people are just adding to the problem. So it is what it is. We're going to go into a few of those things right now. Again, I'm going to, excuse me, I'm getting choked up. It's too early in the morning, I guess. But I'm excited to go over this stuff with you. I'm going to see. And you guys, towards the end of these articles, I want to take some questions. I want to hear from y'all. And let's see here. I want to hear from you guys and really just answer some of your questions. Let me throw up a couple stuff here real quick. This is from Vital. Now, if you guys don't know, Vital Science, he's pretty much been with me since the beginning of my channel. He's someone that I care about. Actually, I care about a lot of my viewers, and he's struggling emotionally. He's smart, which is good. He understands what to look for. And I don't want to put any words in your mouth, Vital. But renting is getting brutal for our family. I mean, it is getting brutal for me and Vital. And that's why I lean on you as well. And I feel like you lean on me because the alternative is way worse, right? The alternative is way worse. If anyone is trapped in their house, God forbid they have a foreclosure, it's going to be a lot worse than just waiting. What we got to remember, Vital, is right now we're mobile, we're free, and we can improve our purchasing power. We did not fall victim like, several of these other buyers that are now chained to their house and, without an ability to sell and without an ability to refinance. So there is good in renting, Vital, but man, it sucks because, specifically from a tax standpoint, I just did my taxes, you guys. I couldn't claim any of the interest that I was normally able to claim. And I ended up owing a lot more money than I thought that I would owe. So I actually paid a pretty big bill. Let's see here. Let me see if I could take any more comments and I'm going to get started, you guys. A lot of people sitting on the sidelines. I live in Texas. Vital, I appreciate you. Golden Copper. So I'm going to get started here, but let me kind of show you guys real quick, if I may, please. Let me show you, how the market is doing right now, because this is an early morning video. And I want to show y'all this real quick. Let's see where we're at with the 10-year treasury. We know that we follow the 10-year treasury. The 30-year fixed rate mortgages follow the 10-year treasury. So we're starting out the morning, y'all, with the treasury going up. So right now, obviously, we don't know how it's going to end, but right now we are up 2 basis points on the 10-year treasury, which is good. Let's look at the futures real quick. Stock market looks like it's going to start down. Here's the really amazing thing right now. Oil's up 6%. Oil's up 6%. I won't go into that. Obviously, OPEC and probably trying to punish the U.S., whatever. But regardless, oil's up 6%. Gold's up almost at 2,000 again. But anyways, you guys keep an eye on the market. Again, here's the 10-year treasury. I use CNBC. But where I want to start is let's take a look at this article right here, okay? And I'm going to post this up in the comments real quick, just in case you guys want to take a look at this later. It's all on CoreLogic, so we're doing like a CoreLogic special right now. Basically, it's been a long time since I talked about CoreLogic. They have some pretty decent stuff. So there's your link right there to the quarterly construction insights. Now, I want to make a point. I've been saying that I believe that overexposed builders are going to be one of the leading catalysts to housing price crashes. Now, what this report is not going to go into, and what, I want to make clear to y'all, as I'm reading this, let me look at you in the eyes real quick. I want you guys to realize this. So not only, let's take Lennar and D.R. Horton as an example, which is the #1 and #2 builder in the U.S. right now. Now, obviously, I'm saying that as a result of being overexposed in so many markets, they're, in my opinion, are not going to have an ability to hold, right? To hold and wait out the housing market. They're going to have to start liquidating their oversupply of houses in order to stay in business. Now, one thing that I want you guys to remember is also this. Also remember, both Lennar and D.R. Horton have humongous, giant, luxury apartment projects going on right now. So just again, hear what I'm saying. Lennar and D.R. Horton are tangled up in the commercial real estate meltdown. So again, #1 and #2 builder in the nation are tangled up in commercial residential, commercial loans that need to refinance. Guess what else that means? Massive vacancy rates in their massive projects right now. So if you don't think that the builders are going to suffer from being overexposed with SFRs, condos, and townhouses, also remember that's just part of the pie. They also have massive commercial residential that they are failing drastically in. So just keep your eyes on that. They both have companies. I thought that was really interesting to point out. But again, you guys, we're going to go into CoreLogic Quarterly Construction Insights. This is for Q1 of 2023. So, a couple things that's going to point out here. Basically, it's going to start out by talking about the cost of construction. And overall, the cost of construction is going down. However, it starts. Cost of some materials have already increased in January. Single unit housing and the South continue to dominate permit approvals. Luckily, I'm in the South and permits are exploding here. And I think that's why it's easier for me to remain patient. And I feel you, Vital, whoever else is listening that's frustrated. In the first month of 2023, U.S. costs for nylon ropes, door slabs, clay bricks, poly-rigid insulation, and asphalt have increased. So we had like a nice decrease in like lumber, but like nylon loops are skyrocketing in prices. Pretty crazy to think nylon loops. But anyways, overall, residential construction costs have declined slightly from November 2022 to February 2023 by 1.7% in the US and 1.6% in Canada. So do y'all comment below? Do y'all think that they're going to pass that 1.7% savings on over to us? I don't think so because they're already cutting prices 15%. And I really want to bring up a new construction community for you because I've found new construction community about 15 miles from where I'm at where they're cutting prices $130,000, 15, 16, 14% right now. So, but I'm going to say that I already made a video on that. The South is leading the nation in 2023 for number of building permit approvals, primarily due to Texas and Florida. Most permits continue to be for single units through 5+ units is a close second. Here's the problem, guys, and here's why I'm a little bit stuttering. I forgot to make a timestamp, so I'm writing this down here. Darn it, forgot to make a timestamp. Let's go on. Okay, here's a summary of year-to-date changes for individual material cost, and this is just January to February. So it's really interesting. Look at what's going up. So nylon loop went up almost 4%, door slab, but and we covered all of this, but look at the things that are going down, and this is month to month. So structural steel, pretty important, is down about 1%. Rebar, also down about 1%. Lumber, everyone knows that lumber absolutely exploded during the pandemic, but lumber is down, again, January to February is down about almost 6%. Plywood down 6%. So we're starting to get the supply chains back. This is good, right? They can afford to build homes cheaper. But the thing is that doesn't really matter because they have a 50 to 60% cushion in their houses. So even if they save 1.7% on building, they still got 50% in sales price padding. Anyways, now here's the year-to-date changes for Canada. So this is comparing Canada. Interesting thing is Canada is kind of just tracking right along with us. So Canada and the US, very similar as far as construction costs, very similar as far as materials becoming cheaper. This is also interesting. This is Q3 of 2022 to Q4 of 2022, change in residential reconstruction costs. Okay, so this is more like kind of like home improvement. But this goes, state by state, and really every state, right? Unless I'm wrong, but every state is down. And this is good. This means it's getting cheaper for people to do reconstruction, right? In pretty much every single state, which is awesome. The top state being Alabama, Florida second, Mississippi third, again, down over 2.5% each of those states. So that's really good. Again, showing supply chains are getting loosened up and the price is going down. Now, here's a quarterly change in residential reconstruction costs for Canada. Really don't need to go into that. I really want to go into labor costs because that was the other problem that we were told, right? Labor costs. So here's the labor costs in the US and Canada. And this is going to be from January 2023 to February 2023. This is residential and commercial labor costs in the US, okay? So, and this is just basically different trades: roofer, carpenter, oiler, right, installer, tile setter. So, labor cost is going up moderately, And this is how equity should go up, right? Equity should not go up 40% in 2 years. That's breaking something called fundamentals. And why do we need fundamentals, y'all? Because we don't want things to break, right? When things are within parameters and within fundamentals, usually they don't break. But when things are and in this case, drastically breaking fundamentals, well, that's not a good thing. But regardless, y'all, labor is going up slightly. That's not necessarily a bad thing because inflation is through the roof, right? Absolutely through the roof. Now, here's the U.S. economic indicators for new construction. This is comparing Q4 on the right to Q3 on the left of 2022. You can see that housing starts, and again, this is as of Q4 of 2022. We have more updated data, but just going based on the lagging data, housing starts started this year at 1.4 million. Building permits matching at 1.4 million. This is down quarter over quarter slightly. Now, home sales Q4 is down as well comparatively at looks like 4.7, right, million, and then 4.7, and then new home sales Q3 of 2022 5.3. So again, everything is down except for new home sales. So this is interesting. New home sales are higher Q4 of 2022 versus Q3 of 2022. So I think the reason that is buying incentives. They didn't have as many buying incentives Q3 of 2022. Q3 of 2022 is when the buying incentives started, and they really exploded in Q4 of 2022. So that's probably why new home sales actually increased, whereas existing sales, as you can see, quarter over quarter actually decreased. Unemployment remains the same. Think about that. So unemployment is the same, and we've been in quantitative tightening for a year. Think about it. Quantitative tightening for a year, yet unemployment is the same. How does that work? I think it's burning off the fat, right? It's burning off the fat. Now, comparatively, interest rates are much higher. Q3 average is 5.6. And again, 5.6 is when the housing market started crashing. So just put things in perspective, because I know there's a lot of emotion out there. But anyways, current average as a Q4 of 2022 was 6.7. So really, really interesting, you guys. Here's total building permit authorizations. You can see why I love Texas. Okay, so Texas is the number one for permits by far. Number two, Florida. But again, number one, Texas. That's why in my own local housing market, I could find, probably 8 to 10 new home developments or master plan communities in 10-mile radius. I mean, there's literally new construction everywhere. And I did an analysis on my update video and on Porter, the city of Porter, 52% of their inventory is new homes. 52%. So again, in the metro areas specifically, the local markets with excessive new home building, it's probably going to be a lot easier for y'all to see the red flags and the signs of the housing market crash. If you're not in a metro with excessive, new home building, it sucks. Right? I'm just going to say it does suck, but still follow the breadcrumbs. But anyways, Texas is number one, followed by Florida. A lot of construction actually is still going on in California as far as permits anyways. Very, very interesting. Let's go down. Now, this is really important as well. Look at how many construction jobs there are. So construction job growth in the U.S., construction employment totaled 7.88 million jobs in January 2023. That's up 51,000 jobs since November 2022. Wow. So I don't know if you guys knew that, but there's 7.8 million jobs in the housing market, and specifically not in the housing market, only in construction, right? That is an alarming amount of jobs in new construction. So if the housing market continues to crash and it puts a massive hit on new construction like I'm saying it will, we're probably going to experience an overwhelming amount of unemployment in new construction. All right? Because look at how many people rely on that. And what's interesting is again, quarter over quarter, 51,000 more jobs, year over year, 294,000 jobs year over year. So, that's pretty substantial. Pretty substantial. So again, I don't really understand, why they're continuing to build so much when there is still so much dust in the air. And again, normally builders, they phase and then they start another phase. So they build a phase, sell it, and then start another phase. And what I'm seeing here is is really just reckless optimism. When I go to Phoenix, Las Vegas, Austin, certain areas like that, I can personally see with having boots on the ground how overexposed some of these new home builders are in some of these metro areas. And then again, not only the overexposure is there, a lot of these new home builders are trapped and stuck taking an absolute beating in the commercial residential development department. And not only that, a lot of them also manage the renters in those projects. So, anyways, I have a whole video I'm making for you guys to really show you how bad these new, construction development companies are. Anyways, so let me take some comments here, and then I'm going to set up our loan insights, you guys. So I'm going to go over loan insights next. But if you guys have any comments on what I just read, go ahead and throw your comments up, and I'll throw them up on the screen. If you guys want to add anything, maybe that I missed or that you liked that I went over. That was the last of my pre-workout. Man, feeling really good this morning, y'all. I feel like I got some energy. I'll probably have to take a nap at 9 o'clock a.m. this morning, but I'm definitely feeling good. You guys throw some stuff up. I got to wash that down with some buffalo water. Crash of the government will bail them out also. So yeah. So, a lot of people are asking me, do I think that the government is going to bail out new home builders? I don't think so. I hope not. I don't think so. Now, they may pass some laws with some tax advantages, and maybe they'll pass those on to new homeowners, but I don't think they're just going to get a bailout personally. Now, some people do. I'm not one of the people that do. And then see, this is a good point. So Lennar is building a lot and not a lot of people are buying, but we also have to be careful because what we're really seeing with the current housing market, it is an even disbursement of price crashing. So you really need to dig into your market analysis, figure out median sales price the last 3 years. And also, if you're purchasing your primary residence, make sure you can cash flow if you have to turn it into a rental, right? Okay, let's see here. Is that it, you guys? Any more comments? Anyone want to throw up comments before I dig into the next part of this video? If you do, now is the time to throw them up. If not, I'm going to get started here on this. Okay, I'm going to get started, y'all. All right, I'm getting started. My housing plans have been pushed back a year. Okay, take a look at this, okay? Increased. My federal tax liability also increased. I had to pay $8,000 more than I thought, which is a lot of money to me because I'm just a normal person. I'm not rich at all. $8,000 is a tremendous amount. Plus, I have 4 kids. But I think my goal to purchase real estate, y'all, has been pushed back probably 6 months to a year as well. I'm not willing to settle. I'm willing to settle on a house as long as it's like kind of a junky house that I'm not going to stay in forever. So like I'm willing to find like a smaller house that needs work and stay in there for a year and then turn that into a rental and then buy again. My primary, because I really hate paying money in rent. So I'm considering that, but I still cannot find a deal that's worthwhile. But cash flow is important. High volume rental. So can you do a video on the high volume rental in Houston area? I've actually done a video, Sonny, in Houston talking about the rental market because I've went out to developments in Houston that are rent to own. So there are rent to own developments, communities that are built to rent happening right now in Houston. So I have done that video. All right, so I'm going to get started here. Okay, wait, a couple things here. So, this person is saying, why not house hack? And here's the thing. House hack, let me explain house hacking, y'all. House hacking is smart. It's smart. Couple concerns I have right now. First concern is there's still so much dust in the air. We really don't know how much longer the knife is going to fall. Home prices can go down another 10 years, right? We still don't really have enough visual to understand if it's falling or not. So that's my concern. Second concern is it's very difficult right now to even find a good deal. So if you can find a good deal, great deal. House hacking is smart, and this is why. Normally what you could do is you purchase, like if you're a first-time home buyer, house hacking is like converting your primary residence into a rental. So like because buying a primary residence has more favorable financing, lower interest rate, and less restrictions. So it's usually a lot better to purchase a home as your primary residence. Now, the stipulation is you generally must live there for a year, because if you don't, it's fraud, and you don't want to commit mortgage fraud. Okay, the statute of limitations is different there, so you don't want to commit mortgage fraud. You want to house hack. So if I could do everything all over again, I would house hack, and I would just keep stepping up my primary residence. Okay. Um, New listings, both. Okay, I want to get to this Vital as well. Ask this again on the next segment, Vital. Okay, I'm going to move on real quick. We're going to go into the defaults. Let me put the timestamp here for the default section. So here's what we're going to do, y'all. And Vital, I'm serious. Throw your comment up when I'm done with this part. Okay. So we're going to pull up. I'm going to pull up another article right here, you guys. This is also from CoreLogic. This is Loan Performance Insights as of March 2023. Now, I've already made my foreclosure video for this month, but this is a different set of information, from CoreLogic. So I really think it's important to look at many sources of data for obvious reasons, because they differ so much. Can you all see that okay? All right. So anyways, all right. So let's go down to the good stuff. All right. Now, again, this is only to January. Again, I've already seen February's numbers, but looking at the defaults is really important. There's two things that y'all should understand as far as foreclosures and defaults. Number one, first thing, if foreclosure and defaults skyrocket, the housing market will crash for sure. And I don't care what side of the coin you're on. If pretty much everyone can agree, if we have an excess amount of defaults, foreclosure, it's going to crash. So that's number one. Number two thing that I want you to understand is, technically, if we compare where we're at right now compared to historically, we have historically low foreclosure and default right now. All right. It took me a minute to understand that. It's predominantly a result of the foreclosure ban and loan modifications. But overall, we have very low numbers. Now, here's the thing. It is going up. Some of the numbers are now exceeding pre-pandemic. So things like this can explode with what feels like overnight. So regardless of it being low, we have to understand the trajectory, right? And that's the point I'm trying to make. But here's the thing. As we can see right here, we are at a default rate as of January 2023 of only 2.8%. Year over year, we started out last year at 3.3%, but that was coming right out of the foreclosure ban. So we're at 2.8% default. However, that has gone up in February. It's not on this report, but that has gone up. All right. Let's scroll down a little bit to the top states of overall delinquency. So, you guys probably know Louisiana, number one state with delinquency. So if you're interested in purchasing foreclosures or getting a list of foreclosures or buying property that is in distress, Louisiana, right? And but if you're going to invest in real estate, also make sure you invest in real estate where the landlord laws are strong. Without paying, it appears that I cannot post without paying. I'm not sure, Scott. You just posted and you didn't have to pay. That's interesting. But you don't have to pay, just comment. Anyways, but number two, Mississippi at very similar 5.4% default rate. Look at this column here. Obviously, everything is down year over year. All of the default is down year over year. Again, it's coming right out of foreclosure ban. So we started out at the beginning of last year pretty high with some of those things. Now, number three state, West Virginia. And number four, it's a surprise to me. Finally, East Coast is on the list. East Coast is on the list, you guys. Again, this is kind of historically low. Systematic failure on the way, though. Systematic failure on the way, historically low. But New York is the number 4 state right now at a 4% delinquency rate on residential mortgages. I don't know if that surprises you guys, but it definitely surprises me that they're on the list now. Now, obviously, number 5 and number 6 is Alabama and Oklahoma. They are tied at a default rate of 3.9%. So again, what I'm saying is, to be honest, this is historically low. This is all historically low stuff, but we can't get lazy and caught off guard here. 30 days or more delinquent. In January 2023, 2.8% of mortgages were delinquent by at least 30 days or more, including those in foreclosure. Okay, so take a look at this. This is a year-over-year comparison, okay? Obviously, let's see here, the biggest at risk is here. This is the biggest group at risk because this is the group that are 120 days past due. Obviously, the people in foreclosure are going to be the biggest in pain. But if we look at like the stuff that's really important, like foreclosure is actually up year over year. Okay. Only 0.1%. Only 0.1%. But everything else, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 120 days, all of this stuff right here is lower year over year. Again, it should be. People shouldn't be going into foreclosure. Oh, another one, not only the foreclosure ban, equity growth. They could just sell their house, right? Just sell your house. You should have equity and you should have a low rate, depending on when you started the foreclosure process, obviously. But anyways, guys, so foreclosure is shockingly, it's up year over year. Keep watching it, all right? Let's see what else we should cover. Again, this is just going into more of the delinquency stuff. Let me read this serious delinquency part right here. I'm not 100% sure why you guys can't see the pictures, but serious delinquencies, metropolitan areas. Serious delinquency is defined as 90 days or more past due, including loans and foreclosure. There were two metropolitan areas where the serious delinquency rate increased and 382 where it decreased. Pretty interesting. And unfortunately, I can't show you that map right here because it's not up here. But, that's it on the delinquencies right there, y'all. I'm really going to go into the Black Knight delinquencies and really go into their charts because it really shows a lot more of the unaffordability impact on people affording their mortgage. But that's the delinquency part. Let me take some more of your questions. I'm going to get the next. You guys throw up some questions. Vital, throw up your question again. I'm going to queue up the rental segment now for y'all, and we'll take a look at the rent here. But Vital, darn it, I didn't put a star next to your comment. But Vital asked, thanks for the hard work, man. I appreciate you, brother. So Vital asked, what are my thoughts on inventory? So here's the thing with inventory. Fred Economic Data updated a few days ago as far as active inventory. Okay, active unit, not pending, active. And historically, we have inventory increase in March. When the numbers came out, we had a slight decrease in March. So actually, inventory went down slightly in March. I believe that's a few reasons. Number one reason is, everyone knows, people have low interest rates, okay? People have low interest rates. Number two is people still have money and they're spending carelessly, right? So there's still wasteful spending and fear of missing out. But the third reason, and hear me out on this one, I think the third reason we had such a decline and such a lack of inventory is think about, and I was driving down my own local housing market the other day and I was thinking about this and I'm like, dang, think about how many homes are owned by investors, long-term investors. There are certain zip codes in Dallas where 50% of those homes are owned by investors. So hopefully once that boot hits the ground for commercial real estate and investors, that's probably, depending on how bad they get hit, that's probably when we're going to see an additional surge in inventory once that boot hits the ground. Because again, huge amount of housing, ownership is with the investors. And I think that's what we're seeing, man. And in the last reason, number 4, we're still in super low inventory months. So February is generally the lowest amount of inventory we have. So, it does suck to see inventory go down, and we'll keep watching that. But right now, I'm only moderately concerned, right? I'm only moderately concerned because of the factors that I just listed. Okay. All right. Let's see. Any comments, y'all? Let me throw this up here. So Kelly, people abandoned homes in 2008 due to payments ballooning and just overall affordability. Yeah. So, and I was one of the people. It was in 2009. I just abandoned my home because I couldn't afford to live there, and I basically gave up. Let me put this up. This is a good one right here. Don't move to Texas. 25% of all vacant properties are investor owned. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Remember when I said the rich are going to lead this housing market crash? The rich, and we're already seeing it in commercial real estate. We're already seeing it with bank runs, crypto. We're already seeing the systematic failure and the black swans. Don't forget that. But again, remember, vacancies skyrocketing. All right. And we're going to go into the rental market here in a minute. And that's why I'm also saying even more pressure on the new home builders, because the top number one, number two home builders have massive luxury commercial residential projects going on right now. Right now. And they have unfavorable financing and cannot fill them up. Lennar DR Horde. Okay. So think about it. We got a lot of stuff that's going on right now. We don't always understand everything. Thanks for that. Don't move. Let me see Vital. Here's Vital. It is weird how low the new existing home listings are for March. I expected a spring surge. Hopefully April improves. It should improve. Here's the thing, Vital. If we don't have more active units in April than we did in March, then I'll get worried. Okay. So just give me a little bit. Okay. Give me like 3-4 weeks. And if the trends still continue, I'll be worried. Okay. But I'm not too worried right now. But he is right. It is a little bit concerning. And remember, you guys, don't just wallow in your misery. Like I'm just sitting here frustrated and wallowing in my misery, right? Only sometimes as we're waiting right now, remember credit income assets, CIA to CYA, CIA, credit income assets to CYA, credit income assets. That's what you should be doing right now if you're on the sidelines. Also, another thing, become experts in your local housing market. Get your realtor license. Everyone that's watching right now that does not have a realtor license, get it, because you need to access live data. There's so many bad narratives. If you guys, some of my viewers, and I think everyone should get a realtor license for many reasons, but just for the reason alone to empower yourself and to do market analysis yourself, it's priceless. Plus you get the commission, right? You also get money. So anyways, empower yourself and try to have a great mindset. Okay. Try to have, love your family. That's what we should be doing. But don't just sit on the sidelines. You're not going to become a winner if you're just sitting. You have to be sitting in and improving your situation, right? Y'all agree with that? Okay. I don't know. Scott tried to post questions several times. No luck. I don't know what's going on, man. I have no idea. Let's see. So war is coming. Don't listen to this fool. So I'm sorry, Ty. Yeah, I'm gonna try. You know what? I'm a fool right now, Ty. I didn't take my vitamins. Man. When I take vitamins, Ty, it actually makes me smarter because of my cognitive function. I'm just kidding. Although sometimes I do think I have dementia because I forget a lot. Like I can barely even remember how old I am sometimes. I don't know if that happens to y'all. Okay. I have been watching our local housing market and have seen properties come and go from the market within a few weeks. They're greedy and fishing for high prices. And that's what sellers are going to do. Sellers are going to, unless they're in distress or have to sell quickly, if they don't have to sell quickly, they're going to try to sell their house for top dollar. So keep watching. All right. Obviously, keep watching. Range now down. Okay, let's see. This is from J.O. Travis, I have seen houses that were in the 340 range now down to 290. It's looking better. And see, the thing is, this is why I get so frustrating when I have people come at me with such like positive, like, oh, the housing market's not crashing. It's like, y'all, first of all, we need to understand your definition. Okay, so any haters, I need to understand what your definition of a housing market crash is, because generally when a hater explains what a housing market crash is, it's delusional. It's completely irrational. So we have to first understand what people's definition of a crash is. And then we have to understand that it's about local housing market. In my local housing market, I'm seeing it. In Austin, it's seeing it a lot more. In other markets, it's like West Palm Beach, Florida, they don't see it. But the advantage of looking at national trends is it shows the red flags coming. Right? You can see it coming. And that's why national trends are important as well as local trends, right? Do y'all agree with that? Okay, let's keep going down. Is war coming, you guys? Should I don't know, man. Should I buy guns and ammo? I'm just kidding. I already have guns and ammo. Let's see here. Ty, yeah, you're a hater, Ty. Kick rocks, Ty, all right? Just kick rocks, hater. I'm calling you a specific hater, Ty, so you, sir, can kick rocks. And you guys, listen, I'm trying to do better in the comment section with like roasting some of these people. Y'all know I get a little bit emotional. So you guys help me. If y'all see someone being an absolute lunatic, psychopath, in the comment section, do what I'm doing now and just type in kick rocks. And you can also add beat it, creep, kick rocks. So either I'm going to do beat it, creep, kick rocks, or just to kick rocks. And to all the haters, enjoy watching us become winners. It's very interesting that they even watch us. But anyways, you guys, let's just see and see, like, this is a good one right here. And I'm going to get into our last one. Okay, there's no crash, only a correction. In my opinion, prices should return to the 2018 level. So like, to me, when I in Family G, this is no offense to you, but when I read something like this, the first thing I'm thinking is it's not a professional that's saying that. Okay, so, and also, what's the difference between a crash and correction? So they're saying that the prices would have to get down to 2018 levels, which would take roughly 30 to 32%. If they went up 40%, it takes less to go down. Now, historically, when have we ever had a 32% national decline in prices? When? Never, ever have we had that. So what they're saying is, it's only a correction, but what about all the people that purchase that are locked in their houses that have to go through foreclosure? It's a crash to them. Wouldn't you agree with that? So again, the whole crash versus correction narrative is crazy. And I know this person is probably not a realtor, but the realtors are saying the same things. Okay? Just listen to what I'm saying, you guys, please, for the love of God. Even a 15% drop is a lot. Again, if it goes up 15, it only needs to drop like 11. 15% is a lot. Put it in perspective. Last time around, on a quarterly average, prices went down 19 to 25% in the biggest collapse of our life. 19 to 25%, biggest collapse of our life. And some people think that we need a 40% crash right now for it to be considered a crash. I don't agree with that. Again, because the people that are trapped in their house right now. Family G, definitely appreciate you sharing your opinion. It's differences of opinion like this, as long as we remain respectful, that we can actually sharpen each other. So Family G, I appreciate you, man. Definitely don't agree with you, but I definitely appreciate you. Super chat, my brother. You're always throwing up super chats, my dude. Thank you, you guys. I definitely appreciate that. And what's up with my video, my San Diego video, only getting like 10,000 views? I'm just like, whoa, what's going on with YouTube right now? Why do people hate me? Kick rocks. Yeah, Sonny gets it. Sonny gets it. Now, even when prices drop, do not get into a home you cannot afford if you lose your job. Massive changes are coming. This is not only a momentary season of distress. So important that y'all... I'm going to start crying right now. Yes, he gets it. Here's the thing, you guys. When you're buying the biggest financial transaction of your life, you should feel good about it. I can almost guarantee that anyone that's buying right now is probably not feeling good about it. They're probably purchasing based on anxiety, stress, emotion, fear of missing out. The reality is there's, and listen to what I'm saying, there's a lot going on behind the scenes that we don't even understand. So it's important to continue to look at the red flags, because the red flags are indications of what's to come. And we've already seen systematic failure, and there wasn't even fraud. The bank runs, that wasn't even fraud. No one even did anything wrong, and we had a systematic failure, and it wasn't cash. It didn't fail because they needed cash. It failed because they didn't have money. Think about it. Just saying. Good comment, brother. Definitely appreciate you. Griffin, what's going on? Hola, everyone. Oh my gosh. Let me scroll down to the bottom of the comments here. This is good right here. Here's a good one right here. This is a really good one. Why is it, okay, realtors, specifically to the cheerleaders and the realtors, which I feel like why do you guys watch my... Anyways, I know why. I already know why. Insecurity, and you're jealous. But anyways, why is the housing prices can go up 40% and no one bats an eye except for like me and a handful of other people, right, that already got burned? Why is it that no one bat an eye when it goes up 40%, breaking all fundamentals, but to think they can go down 20 to 25% is irrational and unreasonable? Good one. So again, all of the hateful, toxic realtors, what's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Anyways, that's a video for another time, but I definitely agree with that. I definitely love you guys. All right. I'm going to go into rent growth right now, okay? Let me make sure this is here. Now we'll go into rent growth because here's what we're saying. The rental market is softening nationally. Again, some areas not seeing any rent decline. Some areas are. I am in an area where there is rent decline in Houston. I have a rental. We haven't rented it out yet. We actually listed the rental for $250 under what we rented it out for last time, and it's still not rented yet. So right now, again, my rental in Houston is listed for under rent, and I'm still not able to get it rented out yet. So it's going to be really important to look at the rental market to see how much the rental market softens, because what did we just talk about? We just talked about how many houses are owned from investors. So if these investors can no longer make money, guess what? They will be forced to liquidate. We need liquidation, right? Liquidation is what we need. But let's go into this segment now. Again, you guys, CoreLogic, you guys can go there yourself. This is CoreLogic. U.S. annual rent growth slows to nearly a 2-year low in January. Okay, so 2-year low in January. Hold on one second, you guys. I made a little bit of a mistake here. I forgot to do this real quick, because I want to be able to write on the article with this pen right here. I was so proud of myself that I learned how to do this. I mean, it was a big day in my household when I figured out how to use my iPad to record live videos, and it's fixed. So again, here's what's interesting. Growth rate slow. So the rental market is softening. We don't really have to guess. What we're wondering, though, is what's going to happen in the next 6 months. That's what we really want to know. And I think it's going to continue to soften. But this is a 2-year low. Okay, so it's a 2-year low of as far as growth in January. So come on, guys, no question. Now, a few bullet points right here, y'all. First one is single-family rent price growth was up by 5.7% year over year in January. That's the lowest rate of appreciation since spring of 2021. Okay. Orlando, Florida continued to lead the country for year-over-year rent price gains. So Florida, brutal. Specifically, Orlando's up 8.9% still, even right now, year over year. But that increase has slowed significantly. The peak, 25% annual growth recorded in April of 2022. You guys, annual 25% growth? Are you kidding me? My heart goes out to people that are renting. I hate it. I hate it. I do not like renting, but we can't. No one can. Only the rich can buy or rent right now, right? It's crazy. All 20 tracked metro areas posted single-digit annual rent price gains, with Phoenix at less than 1%. And again, this is going over year. Okay. Oh my gosh. Someone can't read the. Oh, you can't read the title. I'm so sorry. Well, we're moving on now. Okay, let's go down to right here. Let me go right here, okay? So here is, let me shrink this a little bit so you guys can see this whole thing. Let me move my face. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry that my face is in the way. Is that better? All right. I wouldn't want to see my face either. And I'm stuck with it. So imagine how I feel. All right, so here's figure 1. This is the National Single Family Rent Index. This is a year-over-year change by price tier. So the price tier is like low tier, low middle, and then high tier. But the trends are the same. Look at the growth. So here's, right after lockdowns, rent growth, boom. Look at that. Not sustainable. Would you guys agree that that is not sustainable? Because look at what's happening now. Boom. Just as fast as the growth was here is as fast as the decline is here. Still not over year decline, though. We want to see year-over-year decline. I don't know if we're going to see year-over-year decline. That would be historical. That would be so epic if we had a national average of year-over-year rent decline. I want to see that. That would be crazy. I don't know that has ever happened necessarily before. Maybe in the last crash as well. All right, single family rent index year over year, percent change in 20 markets. Okay, so here's the top markets of rental change. Oh my gosh, y'all, this is bad. Look at Miami. And this is comparing January 2022 to January 2023. Look at the top one. My face is just always in the way. I'm so sorry. This is the number one right here. Okay, hold on. Sorry. This is the number one right here. Guess what it is? Obviously, okay, sorry, right there. Miami. Miami went in 2022 year over year up 40. I'm getting choked up. 40%. Honestly, I think that Florida is going to be like Northern California the last crash, where like Northern California, a lot of places like held out and didn't get hit first, and then when they got hit with pricing crash, it got destroyed. I think it's going to happen that way in Florida to some extent. The migration is just so heavy in Florida. But here's the important thing: it was way up there in 2022, but this year in 2023, Miami is way down. At let's see here, at under 10%. Okay, number one city, as you guys can see here, is Orlando at an increase of 8.9%, but that's down from about 21%. So that's the point I'm trying to make. Even though Orlando shows up year over year 8.9%, it is still softening, right? Pretty much every area is softening. So that's actually really, really good news for Florida. Another thing that we probably should look at, but I didn't set this up, is the defaults, right? The evictions are going up. People are behind on their rent. That's getting worse and worse, but we'll just stick with this in this segment. Now, this is really not important. Okay, this is just going into various, metro areas with year over year rent increases. But, really the point here is things that were working in the past, y'all, may not work this time around. Whereas, the last crash, it made sense to purchase homes and rent them out, because instead of people buying a home, they rented. But right now, I feel like people are either not moving or they're moving in with their families. So when all is said and done, there's a tremendous amount of dust in the air. I still think that, regardless of, I can't remember his name, but regardless of what some people say, renting, first of all, is in my opinion, 90% of it is like throwing away your money. This is a rare time where rent makes sense. You lose tax deductions. It's a pretty big waste renting. So there's a point where it doesn't make sense to rent anymore. And hopefully we'll be further and further out of the housing market bubble when that doesn't make sense for you to rent anymore. But what I'm trying to say is this: I'm still looking to buy. If I find a home that I love at a great deal, I'm going to buy it. And a great deal to me, and you remember when I put the offer in on the last house, I did put an offer in on a house in February. The offer was 9% under 2019 values. So, and then it's gone now, obviously, and I can't find anything else like that. But there was a brief moment where I found a home that I liked at a great deal, but that's gone now. So again, what I'm saying, and the same thing for you, that's why you have to decide what's best for you. I have children. There's mental well-being. People have 1031 exchanges. So there's different reasons to buy. But what you don't want to do is buy based on emotion, and you don't want to buy inside the bubble. We want to be as far out of the housing market bubble as possible, which is why I constantly tell people the longer you wait right now, the better deal you will get. And purchasing right now, what that does, most of the people, there's still some people finding great deals, but most of the people, all it's doing is putting yourself in a giant risk box. By being in that box, you're chained to the house. All right. And that's really what I'm trying to explain to you guys. So anyways, that's going to conclude, the articles that I wanted to read to you guys. Throw up some questions, y'all, if you have any questions about loans or houses or whatever it is. I'll take questions till, for about 6 or 7 minutes, just depending on how good they are. And then I'm going to get out of here. I have to go to work. All righty. Okay. So this is our dude right here, Griffin. He has his own YouTube channel. You guys check it out. He's on the front lines. He's closing. He signs the closing paperwork because he's the notary. So he's seeing a lot of stuff on, on ground zero. Okay. Here's another question. Did I hear about McDonald's announcement this week? Is the McRib coming back? Be honest. Is the McRib coming back? Okay. I don't know what was the McDonald's announcement. Let me see what the McDonald's announcement. McDonald's. Okay, let's see what the McDonald's is. I'm going to take a look here real quick. The McRib is back. I'm just kidding. That's not what it says. Oh, I see. Holy smokes. Let me see this other one. Okay, so wow. Look at this, guys. This is crazy. Okay. This just came out. Okay. McDonald's reportedly temporarily shuts its U.S. corporate offices ahead of layoffs. What? I need to get more information here, but yeah, that's not a, let's see. See, this is, look at April 2nd. So this was put out last night, April 2nd. So, wow. Honestly, I did not know that. And does anyone here think that we're not in a recession? Right? Red flag, red flag. So good one, man. That's a good question, man. I'm surprised it's as strong as it is. I could tell you the reason why it's not crashing right now. The migration, man. The demand is just so overwhelming in Florida. And it's comparatively, it's cheaper from the people that are moving there, which is predominantly New York. So when someone comes from New York to Florida, everything appears cheap. As far as when, I think that you're going to have to, I think that it's going to lag. Like I said, like last time, there were areas that lagged and then they got hit hard. I don't think anyone escapes in 2024. I think it's, I don't know, man. I think only a matter of months before you see additional price decline in Florida. To be honest with you, primary reason that is as well is unaffordability. I mean, unaffordability is shocking. If you compare the median household income to the median sales price in Florida, it's off the chains. It's breaking every fundamentals, and when the fundamentals aren't there, it collapses. That's the point I'm trying to make here, you guys. This is not emotion. Fundamentals, wage growth, affordability. I mean, equity growth. These are really simple things to understand, I feel like. Okay. Let's see here. Let me scroll down to the bottom here. That's funny, Melissa. Oh, okay. So I don't know if there's going to be corporates. What's going on, Scrog? Melissa? Let's see. Yeah, we need inventory in Florida. There's no doubt about that. There's definitely an inventory problem from migration. I think you're going to see, another thing with Florida. Jeez, guys. Oh, man, insurance. Insurance has just skyrocketed. My insurance for my rental house went from like $1,800 to $3,500 a year. I was like, what? Right? $1,800 to $3,500. And what does that do to my cash flow? It messes up my cash flow because it's now more expensive. Y'all see what I'm saying? Juliet, how are you? Let me see, Brittany. Do you think homes will retrace as much in hot school districts? So, and that depends on so many things, okay? Because it depends on the run-up, job market, tech sector, new construction. So I would do a market analysis to really understand that market better. But I could tell you this is generally where the best schools are is the bigger demand, especially if the buyer has a family. School is really important, right? So when I look at houses, like I've been looking at houses like rental, like when I'm looking at houses, it's either my forever house or a rental that I'll settle with for like a year and then I'll buy my primary. I look at the school districts. I think the school districts are vital, but it's going to take a lot more than a school district to stop some of these areas from price decline. I can tell you that. Oh, you guys, the bricks video. That video was the number 10 video. Overall, YouTube hated the video. I did a bricks video yesterday explaining who BRICS are, which is Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and they're working on Argentina, Saudi Arabia, blah, 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 blah. Just to give you guys an idea of what's going on the global stage with the dollar, I still don't think the dollar is going to be replaced anytime soon, but it's important to see how the world is kind of lining up, and it may be considered a PR stunt, but it's happening, right? Will they be successful? I doubt it, but it's happening. So y'all should probably keep your eyes on what's going on with BRICS. All right. Let's see here. Yes, we turned into a small town. You guys, I am going to throw up some more questions, you guys. Your local housing market. So like this question, thoughts on Minnesota. Okay. You got to tell me that one guy. Okay. You need to tell me that. You guys need to empower yourself, do your own thinking, right? That one guy. You need to have either, if you're a realtor, or have your realtor do a market analysis on the area that you want to buy in. Please, you guys, empower yourselves, right? Learn how to buy the right way. get your market analysis done. And I just put all of that in my update video. That's going to be released tomorrow. Actually, you know what? I'm going to release that today. No, I'm going to release that tomorrow. Today is going to be the Redfin. So I have to release the Redfin or it's outdated. Tomorrow is going to be that update video. And I show you guys from scratch again how to do a market analysis and how new construction is corroding into resale. So in my local housing market, there's new construction all over the place now that's under resale prices. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Anyways, sorry. Posturing. Yeah. Bricks video. Very good. Thank you. Thank you. But they just didn't like it, man. It really sucks. Like if I talk about anything other than like flashy real estate stuff, YouTube really penalizes me. And it really makes me sad because I'm just really interested in so many other things. I agree. And people rushing, right? People rushing things. Immediate gratification is one, right? I think that summer is going to be bad and I think fall is going to be bad, but I think 2024 is going to be worse. I could not see that before. There was too much dust in the air. I'm still really scared about the elections, but now I'm starting to think 2024 is going to be even worse. And again, I did call this in the past, but I think the presidential election is going to be based on the housing market. I really do. And probably unemployment as well. That's what I'm thinking. All right, y'all. I really appreciate you guys. And so let me pull this up. Okay, this person's okay. Oh, wait. Here, Hudson Valley. And then I'm going to let you guys go. And I want you guys to have a great day today. Love some people, right? Help some people out. Let someone in front of you when you're driving. Do me a favor, y'all. If you see someone in need, if you see the opportunity to help someone, just bare minimal niceness, do it. And do it for yourself at the very least. Do it for yourself. The feeling that the gratification it gives me by helping people, it's so good. It's like medicine. You guys should do the same thing. But I just want to do my remarks on this last comment right now, which is real estate in Hudson Valley isn't going down. The first thing is I want to say I hear this all the time. And a lot of the times when I actually go research the market, it is down. So most of the time that I hear that, it's not based on data. It's based on feeling and what's going on right now. I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm just saying most of the time when I hear comments like that, it's not based on data. Having said that, there still are some areas, although they've slowed down, there still are some areas that have recently started going up. Okay, so recently started going up. Many areas recently started going up, even though we had 6 months of decline. 6 months of decline. What do we have? 5 weeks of increase. It's a trend we want to pay attention to nevertheless. So what I'd want to say, rock and roll, is just hang in there, man. We know the unaffordability is there. We know that excessive equity, it's when things break fundamentals, they fall apart. Having said all of that, you still have to do what you believe is best for you and your family, and no one can make that decision for you. And I would caution you, though, be careful listening to cheerleaders. And if there's any realtors listening to this, I'm not knocking you specifically. I'm just saying enough with the cheerleading. Use the data, use market analysis, and help your clients out with the data. Okay? I'm just being honest. Now, Cindy, appreciate you. Thank you. Mean rug pulls is true. Man, I really appreciate all y'all so much. You guys have no idea how much you've touched my life. You know, so many of you have touched my life and my family's life in such a positive way. And that means so much to me, you guys. That means so much to me. I mean, my breath is taken. I'm blown away. Anyways, guys, I'm going to let you go. Have a great Monday today. I really hope you do well out there. If you're getting emotional, maybe pray. If you don't pray, whatever. Spend some time with your children or someone you love. If you can't do any of that, then go outside. Please just go outside and take a walk, right? Take a walk and look at the beautiful sun, unless it's snowing or raining. I'm sorry. I like snow and I like rain. So for me, it's good, but I don't know for you. Either way, you guys, Scrog, I see everyone. Really appreciate everyone. Y'all make it a great day, okay? And if you're out there investing in real estate, you know I wish you luck and I hope you win.